Have you watched the Netflix series Squid Game? Even those who haven't watched the drama might be familiar with this episode where contestants play the Dalgona challenge. Dalgona is a Korean sugar candy that involves a little game. You have to pick out the exact shape stamped in the candy without breaking the whole thing. Dalgona has become famous along with the drama series. Last month, I found a bakery selling this snack somewhere around Chunwon MTR station. Although it has become a global interest only recently, Dalgona is nothing new, and it has been a throwback treat for many Koreans, including myself.
So in this video, just follow me and explore Dalgona stories, its making process, and how it bears a sense of nostalgia just like candy snacks in other cultures.
Dalgona is a crispy and crackly sugar candy that has a caramel taste with a pinch of smoky flavor. Dalgona made its first appearance in the 1940s. However, the Korean War in 1950 led to a collapse in the agricultural industry of Korea, and consequently, sugar, which was imported from the US, became very expensive. So it wasn't until the recovery of sugar output in the 1970s when Dalgona became popular as a street snack. Although it seemed to disappear in the early 2000s, it regained attention with the trend of making Dalgona coffee and the release of Squid Game. Different regions in Korea have different names for Dalgona. These are only some examples.
Though sharing different names, all of them are friendly for homemaking.
All you need to make a Dalgona is two simple ingredients, which can be found in any supermarket: sugar and baking soda. Also, the tools you'll need are a metal plate or anything you can use to press the melted sugar, a ladle, and something to stamp a shape like cookie cutters.
So when all the ingredients and utensils are well prepared, we can begin with our cooking. Just turn on the stove. So when it starts getting hotter, then we can put the sugar inside. Oh, it needs a lot more sugar than we expected. Just pour as much as you can. And we need to keep stirring it with chopstick or spoon in case it gets burned. And we use a pan here instead of a ladle because we're using an induction stove instead of gas burner. So when we keep stirring it, we can see the sugar starts clumping up into some granules because it melts in the bottom. In a couple minutes, it melts into brownish syrup, and it's just like making simple caramel. So we'll add a little pinch of baking soda, and the chemical reaction will make it generate some bubbles. You can see the color starts to turn into the Dalgona color that we see in the TV series. Caramel. Then we'll just pour it out onto a plain surface and press it gently with anything that has a flat bottom. But it comes to the trickiest point, as it's really difficult to control the time for cooling. In some better case, it turns out to be like this. Press it for too long. No. Oh yeah. It's getting hard on this side. While in the worst case, where the utensils are not well lubricated, it turns to be like this. Or in more dramatic cases, even like this. It's like an artwork, and the bowl is like a stand. But anyway, even if it fails, it still tastes great, and the cracking sound is also very healing. Though it turns out to be rather difficult to make a perfect Dalgona, these spontaneous and irregular shapes of sugar candy still remind us of another similar childhood snack in China, and that is sugar painting. Sugar painting is regarded as traditional folk art in China. To do a sugar painting, the painter will melt the white sugar into syrup and paint on a plain surface with spoons and other tools to apply the hot syrup. When the sugar cools down, a wooden stick will be stuck to the painting so it can be held in hand for eating or display. Sugar painting has a long history, dating back to the Ming Dynasty, when the syrup was used to make patterns including animals and figures for religious rituals among the royal families or the upper class. It kept evolving to include different subject matters, and the painting techniques were also refined. It then gradually spread from the court or the aristocratic families to become popular among the general public in the Qing dynasty. When nowadays, sugar painting is especially preserved as an intangible cultural heritage and can be found in some historical sites and tourist attractions in China. It is especially welcomed by children, as they can spin the turntable to choose patterns ranging from legendary creatures such as dragons and phoenixes to cute animals like butterflies and dogs. And the painter will present the entire painting process with highly skilled techniques in front of the children. So, if we look at the gonas and sugar paintings together, both of the sugar snacks include fun games and simple but delicious tastes. They have also become a sense of nostalgia towards childhood memories and the good old days. But, wait a second.
Do you know why children, compared to our adults, are more likely to consume a higher amount of sweet stuff like candies? Well, the secret is found in our evolutionary history because, in the early history of humans, when our ancestors were doing things like hunting and collecting to feed their empty bodies, they had to eat as much as possible, and sugar was the top choice for carbohydrates. As they did not have enough food supplies, they needed to eat as much as possible and to storage the energy in their bodies. In fact, despite that, sugar now becomes a bad thing to our health in most industrial societies. It helps us to survive in many years. This also explains why sugar or the taste of sweetness is so much associated with nostalgia. It's simple because we just like to eat sugar as kids, and when we grow up, we know that now there is no need to worry about insufficient food resources, and sadly we just start to behave ourselves or to control our sugar consumption. But if you do miss your home, sweet home, or just treat yourself with some candies.